So they'll be calling you a radical. So I screwed up my camera. But this is important historic video on so many fronts. When I pulled up, there were some kids flipping donuts right here. I got nervous. Well, that's all this parking lot's good for. The most underutilized building in the world, the DEE Event Center. It's important. This is historic. As I called it. Did I call it or did I call it? When you have not one of these pillows, but two, get out of open heart surgery rehab tomorrow. So 40 years ago right now, and I remember being right here, over there, between sessions, and with my shirt off. A year ago today, it was 78 degrees right here, weather whiplash. Jimmy Balvano cut down the nets right there, 40 years ago today. Perfect March Madness. You know, look at the seeds in there. What were they, about a 6 or 7 seed? 8? They won it, throw Bailey on ball. The great, incredible Jimmy V. We love that guy. So, we love Jimmy V. So, good God, what weather. So I called it. I never thought I'd ever say this. Better late than never, but Carlisle from Fox News, thank you. Thank you. Finally, some investigative journalists on the nuclear energy crime syndicate. He did a piece on the nuclear waste coming from Europe, the enriched uranium to southern Utah. He interviews the CEO. Did I call it? All those years ago, March 2011, what did I say? Protesting Energy Solutions, protesting, what did I say? I says, they won't mention Fukushima, they won't mention Fukushima, I'm going right to KSL from hell, all of them, they won't mention Fukushima, they won't mention Fukushima. Did I call it? Guaranteed they'll bring the Fukushima waste to Utah. In the interview, he says, he's down there doing investigative journalism in southern Utah, bringing the nuclear waste from Europe to our place. Nobody else in Europe will take it. Here, the toilet. We don't make it, the nuclear energy crime syndicate. Well, we're going to bring the waste from Japan. I'm a butcher, what's a cow? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm a Weber State biologist. I'm a Weber State zoologist. I'm a Weber State finance professor. I'm a Weber State Board of Regents. I'm a Weber State president. I'm a Weber State freaking literature professor. Or who's Famake Brody? Who's Bernard DeVoto? I mean, who's what Misaka? Who's Kevin? What's Fukushima? I called it. And Cox, I know Cox personally. The worst president we ever, the worst governor we ever had by far. Oh, he's the worst. He won with what, 36% of the vote? So, Bill Gates used to be the most hated man in Utah. Why? Because he stole the operating system from here in Utah. Word perfect, Novell, remember? Remember? You can't remember? Half a hog and used to work for freaking iOmega. But they can't remember. How did they do it? One of my guests turned to it by cable TV. 40 years ago today, Jimmy V. Cutting down the nets, his tragic death. So I call it the Wattis curses, you know. So, I asked Cox about the SMRs we're funding New Skull. I asked Sean Reyes at the Bear. I asked him to his face. They both claimed they didn't know what an SMR was. Yet, as soon as he gets elected, he signs a deal with Bill Gates in Kemmer, Wyoming. We're going to get... Whoa, what? He's bringing in nuclear waste from Japan. I called it all those years ago. They won't mention Fukushima. They won't mention. Fox News did a piece recently. Yay, radioactive rice being turned into non-carbon plastic in Fukushima in Japan. Yay, Fukushima. What? By the way, I'm running out of places for emergency medical alert bracelets. This weather's Captain Insano on Balco. Bobby, you know, it's unbelievable. Jimmy V cutting down the nets. 40 years ago today. A year ago today, it was 78 degrees here. The high's 34. It's 25 degrees below normal every day. Weather whiplash on Balco, on chemo, post 2011. And I think people have confused this western bubble drought with global warming, with climate change. Drought has to do with water. We've had it on for 10 years now. We got time. That doesn't mean that, I mean, this post 2011. 40 years ago today. Remember when North Carolina State won it? They had to win those two squeakers. Pepperdine, the Wave. I think that game was in overtime or double overtime. Then they won a squeaker in the next game. Then they beat Utah in there. Pace Mannion and crew. Then they beat the number 1 seed. Jimmy V took down the giant Virginia. So I called it all those years ago. They won't mention Fukushima. This is how sick and gone the culture is here. They threw in the towel on the ecology for the economy, and they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. So I never thought I'd say this. Thank you, Mr. Carlisle at Fox News. Thank you. By the way, I just came up shit show Riverdale Road. It's an ice skating rink. And where did I learn to drive an ice skate like that? Driving up and down that road. That's where I learned to ski. Holy shit, when I was a kid. Woo-hoo, drive that road, baby. Talk about baptism by fire. 40 years ago today, the great Jimmy V. We loved that guy. So, Weaver can't get it done. That's what. By the way, the NBA, I was watching the game, because I don't watch TV, but in the rehab center, they got Fox News on all the time, 13. And they were showing highlights from Arco. I watched Jason Kidd's last game in there, and Jason Kidd's last game at Arco in high school and college when they got beat. The Jazz played down there, and they have new uniforms every week. It's a sickening product. I remember when they used to play exhibition games here. What? We got second-round tournament games here? The great Arnie Ferentz from Ogden, head of the NCAA committee. He just passed away this year, recently. The great Watt Misaka, his teammate from Ogden, first player of color in the history of the NBA. Shh, don't mention his name. What, are they racist? They must be. They don't like women? Must not. Fawn McKay Brody, who? She. Weber State? Weber State? Not so great. Building a hotel. Took it over there for eminent domain to build this. Sold it to build a hotel, people's homes. This is just in 2 days. Just this. I've never seen anything like it. So, I called it all those years ago. They won't mention it. They won't say anything. I guaranteed they'll bring in the highly radioactive. And if you don't think it's highly radioactive, Fukushima, Japan don't want to live like a nuclear energy refugee. At Chernobyl. At Fukushima. Back 3 Mile Island. Shh, don't tell them. Explosion at Pennsylvania. Don't say the word Hershey. Yay, isn't Hershey where? Yeah, that was where he was playing. Will Chamberlain, when he scored 100. Lillard says you can score 100. Try winning at something, Lillard. Selling sports merchandise. The NBA's not a sport. It's a sports merchandising company. That's all it is. Hello, new uniforms every day. When the Jazz had the same uniform for 35 years, now they have a new one every week. There were so many logos on the floor at Arco Arena, corporate logos, you couldn't even see the floor. Remember Cal Berkeley, what was stamped on the field this year? Semi-Am, the Cryptos FTX scam field. That's a state university. So is this. So, 40 years ago today, Jimmy V. How did they do this? One of my jet stream too about cable TV. I've never seen nothing like this. It's a Captain Insano on Balco. Bobby, you been playing foosball with them gargantuans? They can't practice. So I went to right over there. I went to Pro Day. Josh Davis, top 10, everything. He's going to be an NFL superstar. No doubt in my mind. So is Des Williams. Ty McPherson might too. I mean, Malone. All 4 of them look good, but Josh Davis top 10 in everything. The bar, the jump. I videoed it all. I can't post it. NFL owns everything. Yay. So. Oh, shit. Perfect snowman maker. If I didn't have a ripped open chest, I'd make a big old snowman today. Never seen nothing like this. Average normal temperature here is 57. It's gonna be 34. Well, it was 34 yesterday all week. So Jimmy B, 40 years ago today, cut down the net in here. Why don't we get tournament games no more? No, a whole 12,000. They gotta have 50,000. Yay, go team! So Utah, I called it all those years ago. I guarantee you Energy Solutions right over here will get in on it. Gonna bring the Japan, right out of his words. I'll post the links. 40 years ago today. I called it. I called it in March 2011. Utah won't mention it, won't mention it, won't mention it, won't mention it, won't mention it. By the way, guess what day that was when the Lord was ahead by 20? Oh, ooh. Utah going to start taking the nuclear away. And if you don't think they violate their own state laws, send an offering. Look at my trailer video. You don't think that's radioactive and hot above state limits? Well, they had an accident on June 30th, 2012. I reported it from the bone marrow transplant. That's how Utah I am at LDSE State. By the way, I'll quote Celeste. She worked there for 26 years. She waved me over one day. Kevin, come here. I've been here 26 years. She's a secretary. She does all the paperwork. I did your paperwork coming in here, Kevin Blanch. You should be very proud of yourself. When you came here, we ranked you as a red 10. I was, what's that? We rank you 1 to 10, then red's the extreme. I've never seen a red 10 walk out of here in my 26 years. I fully expected to see you going out of here in a body bag. The only one I ever seen walk out. It's been a hell of a journey. Kevin Blanch versus the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. Whoa, whoa. Let's have a snowball fight. Oh, hold on. We got some more. Yeah. Should I be throwing snowballs with my chest ripped open? No, probably not. Put my sock up. You got to go with that left, Jerry. You got to go with that left, Jerry Harding. They never drafted him. They never drafted Rashid Shaheed. Oh, you dropped the ball, Lillard. But I'm going to make a lot of money selling my Nike gear. Just a hair outside. What a year. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like this. 40 years ago today, I was standing right there with my shirt off. It was 78 degrees here last year on this date. Stay tuned.